Docker Machine with Amazon CloudFormation. Docker Machine is a utility from the Docker folks that allow you to manage Docker hosts. You can easily create Docker hosts with a command line. You can create hosts either locally in VirtualBox, a VMware, or in the cloud using any number of cloud service providers such as Amazon, DigitalOcean, what have you. Uh, Out of the box, Docker Machine has a driver that allows you to create Amazon EC2 instances. However, in many cases, you may want to create other pieces of Amazon components around your cloud deployment with that Docker host. For instance, you might need a load balancer or a DNS entry or a very specific configuration rule, security group. Docker Machine only allows you to create very specific instances. So what I've done is I've created a new driver that's usable with the Docker Machine tool. And essentially what it does is it launches a CloudFormation script. So for those of you not familiar with CloudFormation, essentially what it is it's a tool that Amazon provides. It allows you to create a componentized stack of deployments that can be initiated through their SDK. So what we have here is I've got a very simple deployment. It has one Amazon EC2 instance. You can specify things like what AMI you want it to use, what key pair you want to use, other configuration instances, information about the instance. So I've specified a few different things. I've also got a load balancer. I want to create a load balancer that does some SSL handling. So I've got a load balancer here that references my EC2 instance. It also has a listener configured, which does SSL decryption, so 443 back to 8081 on my Docker host. I've also specified which specific certificate I want to use, certificate that I've already uploaded to the server, to the Amazon cloud. We also have an entry into Route 53, which is Amazon's DNS entry, which also connects to the load balancer. You also can add things like parameters. So I have a single parameter here, which is actually the key name. So when we deploy this thing at runtime, we can actually specify what key that we want to use for this instance. So again, anything you can do in CloudFormation, we could potentially orchestrate through this. So if I needed, in addition, I needed a very specific entry for this stack, a new subnet or a new, you can actually even create an entire VPC this way. So what I want to do is I want to just run this. It does take a little bit longer than the standard because it has to create a whole bunch of additional resources in AWS. So I'm running my binary. I tend to like to run it in debug mode, even when I'm not doing development, because it gives you a nice list of what's happening, what step it's on. I pass it a URL, an S3 URL for a CloudFormation file. Here's that parameter I talked about, which is the key name. We also have the ability, I've built in the ability to pass additional key names. Additional configuration parameters that would get passed into the CloudFormation. You do have to tell it where the private key is located, as well as you can specify some additional parameters. I want it to, because of the way my VPC is configured, I want it to use the private IP address to do the configuration of the Docker host. I also have to pass it a name. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. You do see a lot of output. Again, that's not unexpected. Basically, what's happening here is it's running the CloudFormation script. You see that the stack is now in progress. I can actually show you over on my EC2 console. I can see that I have a stack. The name is the same name as the machine. Its creation is in progress, and you can see the resources that are being created. And you can monitor the progress here. When the stack is finished, it will show that the stack creation has been complete. Scroll down, and we'll just wait for it to complete. In fact, while we're waiting, I probably can go over here. Yeah, the instance has already been created, so that's ready to go. Probably waiting on some of the other things like the DNS entry into Route 53 as well as the load balancer. Okay, the stack creation is complete, and now the standard Docker machine process takes over, and it's actually going to go out and install the Docker binaries on this host. So you'll see it's running a handful of SSH commands on the host. All right, my machine is created. I should be able to use standard Docker machine commands such as SSH into the machine. I can run my Hello World app. Sorry, I got to set my environment as appropriate. Can run the standard commands. So here I can see the configuration variables to connect to my machine. If I want to actually run it, connect to it, I can do that. And I can do run the Hello World image. As you can see, it successfully ran on that host. Other machines, other commands that you can run on the host, we can stop it. You'll see it stopping. We can start it back up. There we go. And then we can remove it. There we go. Shutting down, and then eventually it will change to this terminated state. And again, that removes all the resources that the CloudFormation stack created. So it removes those three components: the load balancer, the DNS entry, and the instance itself. All right, thank you.